Hello, Brubs. This is new book Arrivals number 327. Joyce Carol Oates, Blackwater. And as you can see, part of the cover is cut off, and people always tell you who sell books that if you see a book without missing part of the cover or all of the cover, that it is a not for resale book. So I assume this is a advanced reading copy of some sort, but I don't know. I'm not well versed in the matter, but as you can see, not for resale. And this cover does not want to stay open. What's it about? Joyce Carol Oates has taken a shocking story that has become an American myth and from it has created a novel of electrifying power and illumination. Kelly Kelleher is an idealistic 26-year-old good girl when she meets the senator at a 4th of July party. In a brilliantly woven narrative, we enter her past and her present, her mind and her body, as she is fatally attracted to this older man, this hero, this soon to be lover. Kelly becomes the very embodiment of the vulnerable, romantic dreams of bright and brave women, drawn to the power. Listen to the train. Drawn to the power that certain men command at a party that takes on the quality of a surreal nightmare in a tragic car ride that we hope against hope will not end as we know it must end. I'm guessing this is Chappaquiddick turned into a movie. Not a movie, but a frickin' novel. The Victorian Life, Modern Adventures in 19th Century Culture, Cooking. There's a book just fell back there. Cooking and Fashion and Technology. Let me turn this off. No, that is not the. That's the spaceship up there. UFO causing that. All the reviews I've seen of this book says this woman, her writing style is very. I mean, she's from Washington, so I mean, everyone says she's just everybody's against her. She can't win. Let's read some of it. All creatures surround themselves with the things that make them most comfortable. In the case of my husband and myself, we just happen to be more comfortable with surrounding more of a 19th century nature than of a 21st century one. In technical terms, our life is a long term experiential study in temporal diversity of culture and 19th century technology. We study the late Victorian era the way avid linguists study foreign language by I can't read. I can't read. I can't do it. I can't do it, bruv. Rebuilding Leviathan, party competition, and state exploitation in post communist democracies. And it's got a boo boo. Sorry, book. What the hell does this say? Following her successful book on successor communist parties in Eastern Europe, Anna Busey, in Rebuilding Leviathan examines the impact of party competition on state building. Although market economies and electoral democracies are pervasive in the region, the record of state building is mixed. In her original and well-researched study, Grismala Busey argues that the variation can be explained by the degree of robust competition between political parties. We just lost another pile. V.C. Andrews, Fallen Hearts, and I don't know who. There was some book blogger, vlogger, whatever you call these vulgar cretintarians, who stated that she collected all these, especially the ones with the windows with the little faces in them. So I started collecting them just in case she's in my area and she can't get them. So, or any of her followers, vindictively, I started collecting them. I only pick up the ones that are in good shape. This one's in really good shape. No spine creases and window intact. Little face in there. Don't really care what the book's about. Taekwondo. Spirit and practice beyond self-defense. Grandmaster Richard Chun. This guy just tells you how to beat some ass if you have to. And I believe most martial artists will tell you don't fight unless you have to. And if you have to, destroy the sons of bitch. Not that vulgarly, but I mean, a guy like that would never tell you some bullshit like that. But I plan to sell this book, make some money off it. This one too, Asimov's science fiction Christmas at the Hilbert, Astoria by Sam Schreiber. Take a look at The 5 and 10 by Connie Willis, who's on Coast to Coast AM, unlistenable. I mean, every topic she has is just garbage. I've only heard her about 3 or 4 times, but each time I was just like, I'm never listening again. Analog, Asimov's, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm selling that, so I'm not going to mess it up. The Magical State, Natural Money, Nature, Money, and Modernity in Venezuela, which was really timely since Trump just went in there and kind of overthrew Maduro. I don't know what year this book is since I can't open it, but I assume it's pre-Maduro, but I don't know. Like I said, the book is sealed, and I'm selling it, so along with that one. And ditto with this one, Joy Division, Piece by Piece, writing about Joy Division 1977 to 2007. Paul Morley. Let's see where Morley's from. He has been one of Britain's foremost cultural commentators for 30 years, from post-punk to architecture, from New Musical Express to BBC Two's News Night Review. He has articulated a uniquely postmodern slant on popular culture. Joy Division are the perennial cult post-punk band. 4 young men with weight on their shoulders. The drama and tension of their music remains unsurpassed. Paul Morley was their contemporary and Northern English compatriot who wrote extensively and evocatively of the mood, atmosphere, and ephemeral terror that enveloped this unique group and their doomed frontman, vocalist Ian Curtis. These are his complete writings on Joy Division. Again, I'm selling this book because I have zero interest in Joy Division. But when I saw the book, I was like, yeah, I'll sell this. So I picked it up. I think it was $1. I have it listed probably $10. So if I can make $6 or $7 off there, that pays for ditto with these other ones. I can pay for all these books and have free books. West of Warsaw by Frank Serafino, which is a history on Hamtramck, Michigan, which is a Polish, or was a Polish enclave in, I think, northern Detroit. This is 1983, and I believe it was the 60th anniversary then, so it's probably over 100 years old. Not the book, but the city of Hamtramck, which, as far as I can tell, has become a like a hipster kind of place. It's always been that. I've been there a few times. Wasn't very impressed. Then again, my Polishness has not seeped into my life, as I really don't care about pierogies or any of that bullshit. Although I do like punchkis. The state of Poland came into being with the Christianization of Mieszko I in AD 966. You read books often. I'm going to be reading later, buddy, on this channel. I mean, if you look at the channel, you can see I have a couple dozen books that I've read in full on here. So, what is this, broski? This is West of Warsaw by Frank Serafino. What do you got, broski? There he is. Look at him. Hey, buddy. I write about Poland, or Little Poland. Hamtramck is a place north of Detroit. I guess it's technically part of Detroit. Any good book recommendations? I'll give you a bunch, buddy. Usually, whatever I read on this channel, like I said, just go look at the live broadcasts and you will see the books I've been reading because I read them on here. All right. This book I'm going to sell as well, The Executioners by John D. MacDonald, but it kind of smells a little funky, so I will let it sit in the sun for 8 months and then sell it. As you can see, someone bought it for $1.75. I paid what did I pay for this? Did I get this free? This might have been free. Yeah, I think this was free at the yeah, I think this was free. Free at the library. 1958. I don't know if this is related to the Executioner series. Won't that damage the book? Won't what damage the book? Yeah, that's a good question. Serafino sounds like a fucking Italian name, doesn't it? Why is he writing about this? Let's see about him. Frank Serafino was born in Detroit in 1958. He received his BA in journalism. Maybe there was no Polacks. He resides in Los Angeles, California, too. That's strange. Well, he did back in '83. The hell? That's a good point. Why is that guy writing about it? I'm a Polak and I wouldn't write about them. Maybe he was hired to do it, since no Polish people would do it. In fact, the main reason why I read books on here is because I would never sell a book because people are lamentable. Why would you want followers? What is this bullshit? That's Hamtramck? All right. Why'd you get me back on that? Why'd you get me back on that, bruv? Get over there. Yeah, I don't know if this is related to the Executioner series or what it's based off of. Yeah, I don't need subscribers. If you want to subscribe, do it at your own caution. I never asked for them. Don't need them. I will read books. I did read books when I had 0 subscribers, so I did all these videos. I don't give a fuck about survivors or subscribers. Daniel Dulski, and Dulski is the common or the key world. I can't even speak. The Holy Wild, a heathen Bible for the untamed woman, which is utter bullshit, but I mean, it's funny, so I got it. I believe she has another book, something about the, what's that thing called? Not a grimoire for witches. She thinks she's a witch, so, I mean, look at this lady. Hey, buddy, I'm a fucking magical woman. I probably have 60 books on witchcraft, and most of it's just as oddity. But there are some, I guess I have more than that because I have Gundella the Witch, who I'm actually interested in. She was a local witch. Talkative book invites you to create your own spiritual path. All right. I'm cured of that. The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova, which is a book which I did not know was about vampires until a few months ago. And I'm like, you know what? I've seen this book 100 times at book sales, library sales, thrift stores, etc., and I've never had an inkling that it was a vampire book until I heard about it. I don't know from who. Oh, I know what it was. I was watching around Halloween 5 must-read vampire books. So let's read a little bit from this. Is it an epistolary? I'm going to do it in 1972, I was 16. Young, my father said, to be traveling with him on his diplomatic missions. He preferred to know that I was sitting attentively in class at the International School of Amsterdam. In those days, his foundation was based in Amsterdam, and it had been my home for so long that I had nearly forgotten our early life in the United States. It seems peculiar to me now that I should have been so obedient well into my teens, while the rest of my generation was experimenting with drugs and protesting the imperialist war in Vietnam. But I have been raised in a world so sheltered that it makes my adult life in academia look positively adventurous. To begin with, I was motherless, and the care that my father took of me had been deepened by a double sense of responsibility, so that he protected me more completely than he might have otherwise. My mother had died when I was a baby. Yeah, that's a fucking classic. Instant classic. What's this say? Alpa I2? Yeah. Appa I2? Yeah, I got an Appa I2. The Last Year of Malcolm X, The Evolution of a Revolutionary by George Brightman. Hey, you going to bring up the fact that Brightman's probably not a brother writing about Malcolm? Where's this from? Highland Park College Library. I hope they don't miss it. Someone probably stole it, never brought it back, and now I have it. Yeah, because I don't see it's discarded. Maybe I'll contact them and see, hey, did you lose your book? Where did I get this book? Oh, where did I get this? The funny part was, when I did pick it up, where was I? Damn it. There was a black lady standing next to me, and I hid it so she couldn't see it and asked me about Brother Malcolm. I think I was at the Salvation Army. So, this. It had to have been. Anyway, it don't matter. It was Brother Malcolm. After the split with the black Muslims, Malcolm noted, largely the American white man's press refused to convey that I was now attempting to teach Negroes a new direction. One of the major troubles that I was having in building the organization that I wanted, an all-black organization whose ultimate objective was to help create a society in which there could exist honest white-black brotherhood, was that my earlier public image, my old so-called black Muslim image, kept blocking me. I was trying to gradually reshape that image. I was trying to turn a corner into a new regard by the public, especially Negroes. All right. If this is a woman inside Ravensbrück, Hitler's concentration camp for women, obviously, about the concentration camp. I believe that most of the guards were women, and all the guards who were female in the Nazi, I guess the party, were they called the Nazi party inside the war? Or was everybody a Nazi at that point once Germany started the war? Anyway, all female Nazi guards got their start in Ravensbrück, which is a really nice name for a town. I don't know if that was the name of the town too or not. It's a great name for a town, for a ghastly place. I saw a few things about the women at this place and how they were pretty women. I think it was the BBC wrote it. Of course, they tried to romanticize it by saying that they were women, young, pretty women dressed in nice clothing or whatever the uniform was. But then you saw the swastika. But every picture I've looked at of these guards from Ravensbrück, they were little skags. Matilda looking witch bitches. I mean, I wouldn't say that if they were hot, but the ones I saw were, what's this? Stalin's in there too. Yeah. So there you go. Durkheim, suicide. Suicide is one of the great classics of sociology. Although it is now more than a century old, it remains the most significant work on suicide ever produced. There would be no need for sociology if everyone understood the social framework within which we operate, that we do have a connection to the larger picture is largely thanks to the pioneering thinker Emil Durkheim. And I'm not going to open the book or quote from it because apparently that's like a no-no on YouTube. So mentioning the topic, not endorsing it. But yeah. Hope for the City, a Catholic priest, a suburban housewife, and their desperate effort to save Detroit. I believe this is Father Cunningham. I think he was part of Focus Hope. Yeah, he was. Jack Kresnick's page-turning narrative captures Detroit's historical struggle with race during the explosive 1960s and how the charismatic and pragmatic Father Cunningham persuaded people of all races and backgrounds to build hope from the ashes. Yeah, Focus Hope used to give out food because I remember seeing those cans of food. Where did I see them? The Typists play Monopoly, poems by Kathleen McClung, who I thought was a little bit more national than she is, but the inscription is to a lady who I actually know, and she probably donated this book to the library. Or she has passed away at this point. I don't know. Could be either. Renter Sonnet, Elise Crown. She hangs her yoga pants, petite, across our shared back porch. One clip from every sock and bra and thong. See, this is the problem with poetry. I mean, it's one thing to be confessional, but if you're going to be professional, at least be poetic. And nothing about a thong is poetic unless you're with the woman with the thong on. So when time comes to toss foul compost down the chute, I hunch and walk like Quasimodo through the laundered maze. It's vexing, dodging, Calvin Klein prayer flags. Wait, that's unkind. I'm clueless what she pays for lingerie. While hunched, I don't read tags. En route to shoot. Unneighborly, I know, this metered earring of minute discord. Wise souls quit rhyming their complaints and go ring doorbells, speak aloud, needs unignored. When I at last grow bold, we'll have it out. By talking trash, we'll make our peace, no doubt. And this is why people don't read poetry, because it's fucking rubbish. Rubbish! A rubbish of human rind, as E.E. Cumming would say. Raymond Chandler, is there a fucking crease in this spine? I swear to God, if this... And there's a pube on there, too. Get the fuck off me. Fiction. When a dying millionaire hires Philip Marlowe to handle the blackmailer of one of his two troublesome daughters, Marlowe finds himself involved with more than extortion. Kidnapping, pornography, seduction, and murder are just a few of the complications he gets caught up in. He died in 1950. Why? He died fucking 75 years ago? 65 years ago? 67 years ago? I didn't know that. I thought he was he was still writing. Shows how much I know about books, even though I've been collecting books for years. I didn't know this guy was dead. All right, well, there you go. Last two books are, what's this? 1-800-589-VAIN. Does that mean they're vain, or is that a vein specialist? A True Story of Madness, or Murder, Madness, and Unconditional Love by Stephen Nafa and Gregory White Smith. Doesn't really give a... Look at that. That's fucking terrible photo. Kind of looks like that one guy. What's that actor's name? That fucking clown who's always crying about war. He's in like Spider-Man movies. In this gripping, intimately detailed story of a serial rapist killer, the Pulitzer Prize winning authors of the Mormon... Hey, I got that book. The Mormon Murders. That's on my to-be-read list. Probe every tortured thought and every twisted urge in the mind of a boy-next-door murderer, as well as the dynamics of the perfect all-American family that shaped him. For too many unsuspecting and unlucky young women in Georgia and South Carolina In the late 1980s, a knock at the door could announce a dangerous visitor. Richard Daniel Starrett answering for sale ads in the classifieds. This buyer, however, was hunting for victims, not bargains, and he paid in grim coin. Rape, kidnapping, and in at least one case, murder, sometimes because of his charm, good looks, and articulate intelligence, he formed an emotional bond with them. All right, let's see what he looks like. Let's see if he's the handsome guy they claim he is. There he is. I'm not into dudes, but is this guy a handsome guy? Come on. Is this a handsome guy? I guess he's just a normal looking all-American dude. Look at yeah, that looks like a real family, man. He looks pissed. He's like, fuck this. I'm gonna start killing people. Lastly, Mark Fuhrman, Murder in Brentwood. Forward by Vincent Bugliosi. Who wrote this? Oh, Mark Fuhrman. The cop who supposedly tried to frame OJ. 1997 by Mark Fuhrman. Obviously, it's about OJ. For OJ to get away with murder, an innocent cop, a brilliant detective, had to be destroyed. That was the cynical strategy of the Simpson Dream Team, and it didn't fucking work. Come on now. Nothing in the defense of OJ was legitimately a strategy. If he wasn't OJ, he would have been sent to fucking prison. I mean, later was, but if he was any other guy, he would have went to prison for life. But the fact that he was OJ got him off. I mean, like pulling off put the glove on over a latex. Listen, you can't pull a fucking Jesus. That's awful. Nicole Brown Simpson at the approach to the Bundy crime scene. What? Why is it called the Bundy crime scene? The body of Nicole Brown Simpson at the approach to the Bundy crime scene. Damn, he posted some crazy photos. Why was he allowed to post that? The bloody glove found behind Kato Kalin's bungalow. Put the glove on, OJ. Anyway, you all probably don't remember the chase. I remembered the chase, though. It was pretty funny. That's all. These last two books were freebies that I picked up at the library, so that's the end of this. Goodbye, bros.